Hello guys, my name is Michael and welcome to a new GObject tutorial. Today we are going to learn something new, two new functions which I'm going to introduce you today. Function which basically the first one, it is, as you already noticed when you were starting with GObject playlist, I didn't use it, I talked about it, but I didn't show it you. Now it is time to work with this function, which is called GObject new. And the function looks like this one. It's a function which returns a G pointer, which means returns a void, and as you can see, it takes some parameters. One of them, it is the name of the first property, and so on, followed by null, which we already know. Anyway, it creates a new instance of GObject subtype and set its property. So construction parameters, for example, GParameter construct and GParameter construct only, which are not explicitly specified, are set to their default values. So note that in C, small integer types in variable argument list are promoted up to GINT or GUIN as appropriate. So, and read back accordingly. GINT is 32-bit on every platform on which glib is currently supported. This means that you can use C expression of type with GObject new and so on. I'm going to let you to read all this documentation if you need it. Anyway, the parameters are, the first one is the type ID of the GObject, very important. The type ID of the GObject, subtype to instantiate, and the first property, which we already know what property are. If you came right here directly from some other part and you got linked, then I'm strongly to suggest you to watch also the GTK property playlist as well. Anyway, now let's see. I do have a program right here. It is not very important. We have a function called click callback. This function will be called as long as you click a button, and the button which gets clicked emits a signal, call it clicked, and we are monitoring this signal. Once that you click the button, this function will get called, and you click a button, the button will be printed on the screen. Inside the main, we do have the main function, which has a window and a button. We basically create a window and we create a button and we put it inside it. As you can see, we are monitoring the clicked signal on our button, and we are swapping to use only one in this case, and we are, of course, we are calling the clicked callback function. We are setting as well the margin property with the help of the GObject set, and then we add the button inside our window container with GTK container add. We are showing the window and everything else, and then we start the main loop. Anyway, when I'm going to compile the program like I'm doing right now, you will see the window, and of course you see the button. If I click, say you click at the button. Okay, nothing special. Now let me show you something. I'm going to remove, or better, I'm not going to remove, I'm going to comment these 3 lines right here, and instead what we are going to do now, we are going to call on window the GObject new function, which it says in its type, object type. Like I already told you here, you need to take care about what exactly it says and the ID. Anyway, the first thing which we need the type, and we know that our window, it is a window type which we are creating, so we need GTK type window, which is very important for us. And once that we know exactly the type, we need to set some properties. So I'm going to hit enter. Nope, not there, right here. And now, of course, what do we need? The first thing, if we go to, let me open the object hierarchy for a second. Let's see what we have. We need the GTK window right here. Once that we have it, we need some properties, because as you already noticed, The second thing which we need the name of the first property. So we need some properties. Properties are right here, which there are a lot. So we are going to use, let's see, the type, which is very important. So basically we need to call this one. So type, okay, it is not what I need. And of course the type will be GTK window top level. Even if defaults, I'm going to use this one. The next thing which we need, let's see, let's change the title, why not? So the next one will be the title, and I'm going to call it the new title, this one, this time. What do we need? We can set, of course, its default height and width right here. So the next thing, it is the default height, which would be 200 pixels, and of course we need a default width. We are going to set it also to 200 pixels, and let's say what we can use, I don't know, maybe we can use the container, the border with it of the container. This will be very interesting, because we do had here, I think, no, we did. Anyway, I'm going to make something new now. So I'm going to say GTK window double call border underscore width, and of course here I'm going to say 25. Yes, I had it, or at least I used the margin right here. Okay, the next thing which we are going to, no, we are not going to say nothing, I'm just saying null. Okay, it's enough. Now let's see, we are basically declare a widget, a window pointer of the widget, GTK widget type. Once that we have, we point this pointer to the GObject new. By doing this, we are basically try to create a window type, which is a window type in this case. Once that we create this one, we are also set some properties. We are informing the function with null by passing null as its last parameter. Once that happens, basically it should create our window. Let's see, let me compile it and run and see what happens. Yes, as you can see, works fine, and we are basically creating our first window with the help of GObject new. This is very important. Now, of course, you can set up the next thing is the G-Signal Connect, which we're using. In this case, we are not going to using G-Signal Connect. Instead, we are going to use GObject Connect. And the first thing, let me point to this function first. GObject Connect, where are you? Right here. GObject Connect says it is a function, a convenience function to connect multiple signals at once. This is something new, something which you need to get used. Even you remember when we are setting the notify, or maybe better say when we are monitoring the properties. Basically, we need to say notify double call, and then the property name. Well, something similar to this one, it will happen now if you need or you want to call GObject Connect to connect signal to this object with the help of GObject Connect. You need something similar. So let's see, a convenience function to connect multiple signals at once. So basically, you see, you can connect a lot of signals, not just one, with the same function. Anyway, the signal expects by this function have the form modifier. You see, double call, and then the signal name, which is different, where modifier can be one of the following: signal equivalent to G-Signal Connect data, object signal equivalent to GSignal connect object, and then we have swept and so on. So you see, we do have a lot of different, we are going to see how work some of them. Anyway, that being said, the first thing which we need our window, because here it will happen on this window. We are going to monitor the destroy signal. I want to show you something which is very, very important for you to understand it. Destroy. You see, I'm typing the signal right now, the way you are used to, and GTK main quit, which is the function which should be called, and of course the last two parameters will be null in this case. So now let me see what happens if I'm going to compile, or if I'm trying to compile and run this program. As you can see, it says the GObject connect invalid signal spec destroy. You see, it's not working, and you see the window doesn't get closed as well. I mean, the window does close, but the application still remains alive. Why it's not okay? Well, because I used the destroy signal like we are used to work with in the GSignal connect right here, but we are working with GObject connect, which is something different. And if we go back here and we read again, we see that we need a modifier, which is very important, which means before you do that, you need the modifier. In this case, we need a signal as itself. This is the thing which we are using right now. We are using the signal double call. Now, if I compile it and run it, you will see that everything works fine. I can click the button. If I'm hit right now, the X right here, you see the procedure is having 0, which means it's fine. The application got terminated or killed. So basically, this is the way how you work with GObject new. And of course, working with GObject connect, I'm going to stop right now, and we are going to create a new I'm going to create a new video to a better explanation of the GObject connect, which is a little bit more what you need to understand about these functions. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.